Talk Battle is a format that has been invented on Grünter Mountain. The background or the purpose is really to sharpen the saw, meaning that we really try to better argue in the one or the other direction. We have seen in the presentation before that we definitely as industry have a little bit a problem to argue. The blaming of crypto is quite common. We have seen that and it still exists. And it's better to learn to argue so that maybe it's easier then to convince people that we do not talk about Mickey Mouse, we talk about a real business that really will change the way we do business, the way we do, we give access to people, etc. And it's great to have you here. Impact is a very important element, segment. It gives access to people they wouldn't have invited to participate in our banking ecosystem, and still is the case that they cannot participate. And if you do not have access, you cannot make business. And making business is the basis of every civilized life. Okay, the talk battle has clear and strict rules. First, we invite the future of Bitcoin, we invite two people who have a clearly contradictory opinion, or at least they have to play it. It doesn't mean that Guido, who takes the stand against Bitcoin, is really too much against, but he plays that role. It's very important. And with Stefan, of course, he's a pro-Bitcoiner, that's clear. Otherwise, you would have a precedent problem, I guess, with your association. Nevertheless, we start with the pro, meaning we would start with you. You have a pro, and you have 3 minutes. And then you shut up, and he has 3 minutes. And then you stop. It's the turn to you. You have another minute to double down. And then after that, you have another minute to double down. And then finally, you have 30 seconds to have a closing statement on what you did, or maybe you have to defend against your aggressive argument, whatever you have. You also have then 30 seconds. And then we take away the microphone from you, and then it's up to you guys. Then we decide. We decide which position, the pro position or the contra position, has been better presented, or which one needs some support. You know what I mean? Also, which argumentation needs more support. And then we will have the opportunity to either go here to support the contra, or to go here, take the micro, and to support the pro position. Right? You as a participant here as audience. And that is the fun part. Because it's you just have 1 minute for your statement, and then it changes automatically. And if nobody is there, then you can queue here, whatever. And so goes in the other direction. Okay, was this complicated enough? Right. I look on my watch, and I would say if you're ready, you're ready? You're ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
You tell us the last minute or something like that?
I should have somebody who does the business of looking at the watch. Is that possible that you have somebody? A neutral person who can show 3 minutes or so? You have a... Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? It is a declaration of independence. Why was that necessary? Because in the 21st century, we had that internet coming in our lives, and more business has taken place in the internet. But in the internet, we had the problem that we could not use cash for payment. So we always had to use one of these banks, intermediaries, so we were dependent on intermediaries. So the invention of Bitcoin is basically a cash for an internet, whereby I can give you Bitcoin, you can receive Bitcoin from me without having the need for a bank or any other financial intermediary. So the people who invented this also kept in mind that the banking system is a problem because it's a cartel. And they invented a system whereby the issuance of the coins is strictly regulated and limited. So in the case of Bitcoin, it's 21 million, and even the issuance, the sequence of issuance is regulated by the blocks and is regulated by the energy consumption. So if there's too many people liking to issue Bitcoin, the hash rate difficulty is being augmented, and then it will cost more money to issue Bitcoin, and this will prevent Bitcoin to be issued too quickly. So it's a protocol, it's a system that works independently, it's software, it's trustless, so there is no people having a hand on it. So it's a little bit like the origins of the Swiss Eigenossenschaft. It is a solution to a problem. And in the case of the Swiss Eigenossenschaft, it has worked out very well. And I believe that Bitcoin as a technology has a bright future because it offers so many qualities that the actual banking system is lacking. So I'm very confident that Bitcoin will serve the greater purpose.
Great. Thank you very much for your contribution. You definitely are 10 miles ahead. And now we will see Guido response. 3 minutes.
Huh? So, guys, if I looked here to the audience, who of you was born before Bitcoin released the white paper? I think all of you. So all of you had a life before Bitcoin. So you didn't need Bitcoin at all for your life. So Bitcoin was at least something coming up which might look serious, but not as a substance or really an essential topic. Yeah? If I'm coming here to Stefan and you're talking about Switzerland, this is for 300 years is a currency of Switzerland. So you can touch it, you can smell it, you can feel it, and you like it because you can have it in your hands. Bitcoin, you cannot have in your hand. It's not smelling, it's not feeling, you cannot take it anywhere. Yes? So, and you're talking about internet and payments. I can pay in the internet with a lot of currencies. I can pay with Lufthansa miles, Starlines miles. I can pay with Starwood miles, whatever. I can pay with online transactions with money, which is not even in the bank. It's only a digital transaction. Well, so why do I need this Bitcoin for? Yeah? Bitcoin is a nice idea. I like the idea. It was a new approach. I was in an aircraft from US to Europe, and I saw in 2012 a film about Bitcoin. I said, oh yeah, it's a nice idea. It will never succeed. So this was my judgment, this is spontaneous judgment. And Bitcoin was developed. Yes, and it's there. But hey, come on, if you talk about Bitcoin, it's a steam engine. Yeah? It's nice, you can put it in a museum and you can go and you have the feeling of having a steam engine drive. It's nice. But if I want to go to Berlin or to Paris, I would never take the steam engine. I would take a fast train like Ethereum or Dragonfly or any other blockchain, which is absolutely much more sophisticated and faster and brings me to the place where I am. And now we come to the latest point, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important. If you have a look if you have a look to the energy consumption of Bitcoin. How dare you? How can you waste so much energy for Bitcoin, whilst the old people, the retired people, have to drop down the heaters and everything to save energy for our planet? Yeah? What will happen? You all will die before Bitcoin can really release to it, because so much energy consumption is coming up. Full stop. Yeah? What is there the advantage of Bitcoin? Yeah? Why we should go for? Yeah? It's a nice idea. Okay, put it to the museum and have a nice future on that. So that's my opinion.
Thank you very much. We have another minute to respond. Stefan. 1 minute, yeah.
Okay, Guido, thank you very much. You couldn't make the point clearer than you made it. Bribing, that is the best way of the competitors of Bitcoin to get their point. And then, by the way, it was 1848, this one. The energy consumption, that is a very important point, really, because that makes Bitcoin not a fiat money. Bitcoin needs electricity, energy to be produced, and that's exactly how you make sure that it's not inflated. That's a distinguishing features of Bitcoin to all other fiat currencies. Very important, and it makes Bitcoin so solid. Yep.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Now it's up to Guido.
Yeah, but
Stop. Yes. 1 minute. Go.
Stefan, I like you personally, and I'm very happy about that you still defend this. But look, are you really honest to us? Yeah? You are working for the Blockchain Association. Yeah? You're president. Isn't it centralized if you are president of an association? It's not decentralized. So even in your association, you are not running a really decentralized approach. Yeah? And then if you go to Bitcoin in practice, yeah, there was a pizza board with it, okay, but they had time, because pizza takes some time to be ready in the oven, so you could wait for the transaction. Yeah? But if you take the Bitcoin in today's in a transaction, yeah, where is the benefit out of it? It takes also time, not only energy, it takes time. And who is using it? I'm grown up in Zug, and where we have had this big message in 2016 or no, 2014. The canton of Zug is taking taxes in Bitcoin. It was a great announcement, marketing.
Stop. Okay, now the final round, 30 seconds.
Okay. You talked about Bitcoin Association in my work. You know, our work is not paid. Why? Because you cannot make money with Bitcoin, because it is just a money that can be used, but it's not, the rent-seeking behavior is not really working with it. And that's, to me, the beauty of it. And this is why I'm doing it pro bono, and I do it from the heart.
That's it.
To finalize my point, during the first 2 years in Zug, only 20 people paid their taxes in Bitcoin. But all the media reported about this benefit, so people don't need it. This is a proof of concept that they don't need to pay anything in Bitcoin, proven by the canton of Zug. So that's my final statement.
Okay, thank you very much. So far, great job. And now I raised the question, who or which position has been presented in a better way, also in a... Okay, that's criminal, oder? No, also which side needs more support from an argumentation point of view? Is that the pro side or is the contra side? If somebody is for the contra side who needs more support, hands up. If you believe that the pro side needs more support, more argumentation, hands up. Okay, that's a very clear statement. Okay, I have, in order to give you the support, we have two ways. one, people who will help you in the argumentation. Two, I have some liquidity here, and you have the choice which you want to take. I have here a bottle of Offenmaltine that may help. Maybe this helps, I don't know, Red Bull. And even to improve the aggressivity, some white wine, Sauvignon Blanc. So it's your choice which one you want to take.
To drink?
Yeah?
Right now?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, the white wine is not cool, so I can't drink it.
Right, okay. Then take one of these.
Okay, then I take the awful.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Also, drink some awful, a short drink, and then we continue with the audience. I have you to give me the microphone, please. You just listen. You have not to say something, and this $10 you can have back here. Okay. Also, one microphone is here, and the other microphone kannst du uns noch geben. No, is here. Okay. Now, who wants to say something? Pro or contra? Please take the mic.
I'm pro Bitcoin. I am pro Bitcoin.
Oh, then you. No, take this one.
You'd mentioned the word tangible, I believe. Did you not? No? Well, then I heard you incorrectly. But here's something that's tangible. Is there a rule? Do I have to sit down? Because I can't sit down. Okay. So I want you to think about the banking system. And I'm going to read you a passage from the book of Satoshi. You ready? Think about the banking system. Think about what just happened over the weekend. The probability of the banking system catching up from a given deficit is analogous to a gambler's ruin problem. Suppose a gambler with unlimited credit starts at a deficit and plays potentially an infinite number of trials to try to reach break even. We can calculate the probability he ever reaches break even, or that the banking system ever catches up with the honest chain as follows, with calculations which I won't get into. Given our assumption, the probability drops exponentially as the number of blocks the banking system has to catch up with increases, with the odds against the banking system. If he doesn't make a lucky lunge forward early on, the banking system's chances become vanishingly small as the banking system falls further behind.
Anybody on this side? Yeah, please.
So I'm choosing the anti-Bitcoin side, not because I don't believe in Bitcoin, but because I hope I will be bribed at some point. No, I'm joking. So let's have some fair arguments against Bitcoin. So you were speaking of what happened during the weekend, where a stablecoin, DPIG, but the stablecoin recovered. Yeah, but the stablecoin recovered just as fast, which shows as Ethereum, one of the main competitors of Bitcoin, can resist. And yes, Bitcoin like to steal idea from Ethereum. We saw with a block size increase back then. We saw as well very recently with NFTs. NFTs huge things now on Bitcoin. But I still don't believe that Bitcoin will be everyday payment system. Because how do you want to have a payment system which is speculative, and a payment system which is supposed to increase value because it's a store value. So it will increase value over time. So imagine you wake up in the morning and you say, oh, I'm going to buy my bread at the bakery. And by the time you go to the bakery, the bread has increased and you don't have any more money to buy it. Because it's a store value and it's with the scarcity of the supply, it's each Satoshi increase over time.
Okay, no, not yet.
So I had a lot of arguments.
No. Is there somebody on this side to defend? And no help? Richard, please. You can go back then.
Okay. I'm somehow. Is that on? Okay. I think the good news is that we were here before Bitcoin. The even better news is that we need something like Bitcoin, because if Ray Dalio is correct, and every 75 years the reserve currency changes, and we are basically in the advent of war now, the times of US dollar are vanishing, and the alternative to renminbi could be Bitcoin, a global financial system.
Okay, is there any other to support? Okay, then kannst du.
Welcome. You want to get it?
Yeah. The title over there is "The Future of Bitcoin," right? But to be honest, I haven't heard much on the future of Bitcoin. There's one thing I want to mention. Today we have 80% of the Bitcoins are mined, right? Something like that. Is it 80? 80. Out of the 80, 90% are in the hands of what? 10 people or 10 organizations? Is it 15? 9? No, it's not. It's just a few people. If you want to transfer, you said this morning, the banking system is corrupt. And I think you're right. But how would you go? And then you said, exit to Bitcoin. How would you want to do that? In such a system, would you like to move to Bitcoin and 90% or 80% or 70%, whatever it is, people hold everything? How is that going to work? That is a question you need to answer when you talk about Bitcoin.
Okay, great. You can add after.
Those that hold Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin, understand the dynamics of making a market. And when you make a market, you must let go of the asset in order to grow the interest. It is counterintuitive. It's game theoretical. If you can't get any Bitcoin, or if she can't get any Bitcoin, she's going to go away. But if I let a little go, because I have 20,000, 50,000 of it, she's going to come back, tell two friends, maybe they'll come back, and all of a sudden a vibrant market will develop. That's the dynamics of a finite supply.
So whose interest it is to develop such a market? Is it the exchanges, centralized exchanges? Because on Bitcoin, unlike on Ethereum, you don't have a secondary market decentralized with AMM and other liquidity pool.
The interest, may I? Yeah, the interest that I refer to is it's in the interest of the system and the outstanding circulating supply, the market, the community, and the future of Bitcoin.
You mentioned the whales, let's call them the whales or wherever, to create a market, they should let go, right? How does that
To sell.
To sell.
If she wants to buy, I must sell to her.
I have 100,000 Bitcoins and sell one to you?
Yes.
For fiat? Or what?
Unfortunately, it's for fiat, yes.
Such a good point. The one selling Bitcoin, not the one that wants fiat.
He trapped me.
You know, I'm pro Bitcoin, but I like that we work towards solutions. That's what I want.
I'm not defeating that argument.
Do you want to answer?
There's no rebuttal.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I brought all the arguments which came to my mind, and I think it's clear that I will not win in this room according to my arguments, because we all know that these arguments are at least not really valid on a long term. But according to my experience in this blockchain ecosystem, and also to a lot of talks I had with lead people, with really important people who have developed this ecosystem, for me it's pretty clear that Bitcoin is at least not the technology we are using in future for blockchain technology, because it has limited access, has limited attitudes, limited features, and it has some problems any new technology in the beginning is facing. The first train will never ever do public transport, also not the first car developed by Mr. Diesel. So for me, because it's a very safe cryptocurrency, for me the future of Bitcoin will not be the payment, the future will be a kind of gold reserve. And if you look to your mobile phone now and you see what goes up, you clearly see that in this banking crisis, the people flew with the money to Bitcoin because they believe it's one of the most safest ones, so as a reserve. But for the blockchain, the vibrant blockchain atmosphere, for all the technology, for everything what comes in future, a lot of other cryptocurrencies will compete to be the leading ones. I still hope, I still believe that we stay decentralized, that not a single technology project and not a single cryptocurrency will at least be getting a majority in the leading one. So I also don't like that Bitcoin is requesting to be the super cryptocurrencies on top. No, we are decentralized, so it means we have to have, if we want to have a vital atmosphere, if we want to keep our values of decentralization really on top, then we need different technology projects with bridges. Lisk is building bridges to Cosmos Interchain, to Cardano, and they build the same other way around. And we need a couple of cryptocurrencies which are also in a way connected, so that you can transfer your ADA or your Dash also to a Cardano blockchain or to a Lisk blockchain, which is my vision, that we can solve this problem so that they not even have to stay on one blockchain, but still we have a decentralized network, which I'm voting for. And there I invite Bitcoin to be a part of it, but I don't want to have them even as any other ones as a leading one.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I just would like to reply to two of the questions. The first was the payment system. The payment layer in Bitcoin is Lightning, and that is pretty much working. So you can use that. Even in a lot of cases, it's free of any charge for a transaction. So that, in my personal opinion, is a solution that is a lot better than any other system, Ethereum or stuff like that. And the second was, there is not enough Bitcoin for everybody. Well, I mean, if you make a little calculation, if you buy 1/100th of a Bitcoin, that is about 200 francs right now, you get 1 million Satoshis, so 1 million units of exchange. Maybe not many of us have 1 million units of exchange on their bank account. So it could carry you far in dealing with other people with 1 million exchange units. And for the future of Bitcoin, I had the opportunity in the last 3 months to take some time off and to pause from my professional life. And it was really reduced to the essentials of life. So there is no need for investment there to think about rent seeking. It's just the daily life. And in the daily life, and if you're a little bit closer to self-sufficiency, so you have a big garden, you can harvest food, you prepare your food yourself. The means of payment is really something you still need because you cannot grow everything yourself. So if you picture a world and you reduce it for a moment to the max and you say, okay, I don't need a lot of things I'm dealing with now. I just need like a nest where I live, and I need my food, and I need my social contacts. I need to meet people. I need to eat and drink with people. If you picture a life like that, you would still need a means of payment. And if that means of payment would be honest, easy to use, permissionless, it would serve you a great purpose. But this is a different perspective, and I hope you find some time maybe to think a little bit in this direction. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you to the two battlers. Can I ask you to join here? I want to hand over something. No, stay here for a closing remark. Also, I do not make a final vote. Don't do that. I do it myself, and a little bit what I observed. I observed a person who is very intimate in a way, moving in the other direction. That I should have give you a yellow card for doing that, because if you cannot understand that this is your territory, then we will have a hard time with you. That's one thing I have to mention here. On the other hand, I would have expected a bit more aggressivity. Maybe you were too long where have you been? In this wonderful jungle experience. La Réunion, the name says it. You're not trained for aggressivity. You're trained for having a unifying argumentation, right?
We call it consensus.
Consensus, right. Okay. But for me, and also I have a lot learned in this stage. Thank you for your contribution from your side also, and you as a watch maker, not a watchmaker, time, right. And also your argumentation was very, very good.